Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to fulfill a special request, but first I just wanted to remind you guys that my flower arrangement from Rose Forever, my beautiful flower arrangement. Hopefully you saw the video that I posted last week. I posted the video 8 days ago, okay? You guys have 30 days from the time my video was posted to use my special discount code that gets you $20 off your order. Okay, so that code is NORTH20, NORTH20. And you can use that code to get $20 off your order, but only for the next 22 days. Okay, so Mother's Day, so soon. If you need to get something for Mother's Day, this is a great option. These flowers last for a year. They are real flowers. This is not a rose arrangement. They have primarily roses, but I really wanted you guys to get to see what else they do because there are lots of other options as well. But their claim is that they last at least a year. So I would recommend this as like maybe a Mother's Day gift. You have 22 more days to order with my code, roseforever.com. And let's get to it. I got a brand new pack of bubble yum. And I actually got kind of lucky because I had a Walmart delivery and I ordered one pack of bubble yum and I got 2. So I was like, well, thank you. Okay, so I had a special request a couple weeks ago to do a video where I talk through my pad thai recipe and instructions. I have shared that generic recipe with you guys when I was making a grocery list. But somebody asked me to share kind of a walkthrough of what I do when I make pad thai. It's one of my favorite dishes to make. Everybody in my family loves it. I love pad thai as a rule, but it's different at different restaurants. I have found a recipe that I love every time. So usually I stick to this. I'm just going to show you my recipe card. Look how dirty this recipe card is. You can tell that it's well loved because of all the sauce marks that are on the card. The sauce is the most important part. So I always have this recipe card handy when I'm making the sauce, which results in splish, splash, splatter on my recipe card. So I will put this information below so that you guys have it, along with this disclaimer. The sauce recipe, I generally always do at at least 3 times what it says. Sometimes more, depending on how many noodle packs I use. Because I like it to be really saucy. And it's a peanut butter sauce. So the peanut butter kind of dries the sauce out. So my personal opinion is that you do need to use way more of these ingredients. I just use this recipe for the ratios. Because like if I'm going to use 1 full cup of chicken stock, then I'm going to need to use more than 3 tablespoons of brown sugar or soy sauce or whatever. I actually don't use, it's weird that I said that ingredient because I usually don't use the ratio of the brown sugar because I don't want it that sweet. So I put less brown sugar than it says, but for everything else, I'll just walk you through it. Here we go. The first step is to whisk the sauce and set it aside. Sounds very easy, but it's a little tricky. So you need a 1/3 cup of chicken or vegetable stock. A little hack. I use chicken broth because it's cheaper. I even use the bouillon cubes. It says a 1/3 cup of chicken stock or vegetable stock, but I probably do 2 cups. So I heat up 2 cups of water, put in a chicken bouillon cube, whisk it together. That's the base for my sauce. Then it says 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Well, I have done times 6 of my chicken vegetable stock. So I will kind of do, I think 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup. So I probably start off with like 1/2 cup of soy sauce. Fish sauce. It says to put the same amount of fish sauce as you put soy sauce. But I don't. I put more soy sauce. Because I have found that if I use too much fish sauce, it throws off the taste for me. You may not feel that way, but it's a personal preference. I use fish sauce, but I don't want an overly fishy taste. So I use more soy sauce, less fish sauce. It says 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I probably do that, 3 tablespoons, even though I have increased everything else. I don't want a super duper sweet sauce, but if you like sweeter, then you probably want to add more brown sugar. 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. What I would probably start with is 1/2 cup, but I always, without fail, add more peanut butter. I want a good peanutty sauce. So I just taste test. So I kind of do my base. So like a 1/2 cup of peanut butter is what I'll start with. Then once I've added all the other ingredients, I'll go back and add more. It says a tablespoon of lime juice. And I will typically start off with like 2 limes. squeeze the lime juice. About 2 limes. Maybe add more later, so I always get more than 2. This is one of those recipes where I've made it so many times that I tweak it so much because I know my taste of it now. So you kind of have to play with this to figure out your personal favorite. And you might want to just, the first time you make it, stick to the recipe card and go from there. I'm just telling you what I do, because the person who requested this asked for that. Tablespoon of rice wine vinegar. So I love rice wine vinegar. I don't want it to taste, too vinegary. So I probably do a little less than half a cup of that to start. A teaspoon of chili sauce. So what I use for that is sambal olek, S-A-M-B-E-L space O-L-E-K, sambal olek. I love that sauce. It is spicy. So this, it says a teaspoon. I put way more than a teaspoon, but I don't put too much because I always add it to my personal plate. But I don't want it to be too spicy for my husband and my kids. So I probably do about a tablespoon in the sauce. And then I add more to my own serving of it later. A teaspoon of garlic. So I kind of eyeball that. I use the jar of minced garlic. So I just kind of take a few spoonfuls and put it in there. And then a teaspoon of ginger minced. I'll be honest, I have started getting the tube in the fresh vegetable section, the refrigerated section. They sell like a tube of minced ginger, and I've started getting that because ginger takes a while. I love using fresh ginger, and sometimes I still do, but I think post kids, I've simplified and I've gotten the tube of ginger paste. Okay, that's the sauce. Once you have put all of those ingredients, whisked it all together, I do a little finger test, taste it. 100% of the time, I need more peanut butter. So I add a little spoonful, whisk it. Sometimes I'm like, maybe more lime, maybe more garlic, maybe more vinegar. And I just kind of play with the sauce until I'm like, yeah, this is what we need. This is where the sweet spot is. For you, that may just be the classic recipe. Figure out your taste. Then you're gonna boil the noodles. So you've already got the sauce made. So a lot of times when I make this, because the sauce takes a little while, if I know I'm gonna have pad thai that night, sometimes I'll make the sauce during the day, like when the kids are napping or something. Make the sauce and cover it and put it in the fridge. Then boil the water, cook the noodles. So the noodles that I get are like rice noodles. They're the Thai, Taste of Thai is the brand, Taste of Thai. You can get it in like the Asian section of the supermarket. And it's like, they have like linguine style. I think that's what I normally get, but they're rice noodles. I usually do like 2 packages of those. Boil those, rinse them. If you don't want them to stick together, while you're waiting, because you know noodles will really clump and make like a clump. I've learned to add olive oil, just a little, drizzle some olive oil and mix the noodles up when they're hot so that they don't stick together. Set them aside. Preheat your skillet. I usually do a big skillet that's, no. I actually do the pot. That's what I do. I do the pot that I boiled the noodles in. I just put it back on the stove after I've emptied the water. Add some olive oil. Cook the chicken. Then I push the chicken to the side of the pan. So you cut up chicken breasts. I usually do 2 chicken breasts. Just cut them up into bite-sized pieces, or however you prefer. Cook it on the stovetop. Push the chicken pieces to the side of the pan. And cook your eggs. Scramble them up with your spatula as you're cooking. Just kind of scramble them up. Make sure the eggs are done before you mix them with the chicken. Otherwise, they're going to be slimy on your chicken and it's not great. You could also just scramble them in a separate pan and then add them to the chicken pot. That might be easier. I usually do 2 or 3 eggs. I just kind of decide depending on how much chicken I have. If you don't like eggs, just do it without. Once all of that is mixed together, you add the noodles back to the pot with the chicken. Mix it all together. Pour the sauce over the noodles and chicken. You're going to want to cook that for like 3 to 5 minutes at least to heat everything back up and get it all like marinating really good. Then I spoon out a portion onto a plate. I will have, while the noodles were cooking, probably I will dice up really small cilantro. And I'll garnish with cilantro and peanuts. So I'll take like salted peanuts, unsalted, whatever. Put them in like a Ziploc bag and chop them up with my like muddler. Chop them up. And then I drizzle those over the top with cilantro. If you like lime, you can serve it with a slice of lime for people to drizzle over the top of theirs if they like it. I usually do that because I like fresh lime, so even though the sauce already has lime, I will often drizzle some lime juice on top as well as the sambal olek because I really like spice. If you're not a spicy person, don't do that. Maybe just add a little bit to the sauce for flavor, but don't add any more. Because if you just add a little bit to the sauce, it's not gonna make it super spicy. It's just gonna add flavor. Trust me, my kids and my husband tear it up. And that, my friends, is my pad thai recipe. This is actually kind of putting me in the mood for pad thai. I love pad thai. Another good thing to have with it would be like egg rolls or spring rolls. Maybe some little Thai salad or something, or soup. But we often just eat it and that's it, like just the pad thai by itself. Rarely, but I do it sometimes. I add shrimp to it, in which case I would just cook the shrimp separately and add it to the pot at the very end. I've done that. It's so good. I love shrimp. But we usually just do chicken. And it's delicious. Perfectly wonderful with just chicken. If you are a vegetarian, this would be wonderful to do with veggies. Like, I often chop up spinach really finely and mix it into my portion because I love spinach and I like to just add it to pasta and stuff. But I could see like putting like sauteed veggies into this would be super good. And you could just use vegetable stock or vegetable broth. And you can eliminate the fish oil completely, the fish sauce. It's not even like super, to me, important to the recipe. In fact, I think where I found this recipe, it said you could always substitute the fish sauce with water or more soy sauce. So that's an option too. And like I said, everybody's tastes are different, so you may find that you just want to take the garlic out, or you're not a ginger person or whatever. Having the base sauce with the peanut butter is the biggest part for me. And then you can just kind of add here and there. But I would definitely make more sauce than what the recipe says. And I'll put that disclaimer in the notes as well. But thank you to who requested this video, because I love talking about cooking. I love to cook. And remember, you have 22 days to place an order on roseforever.com and get $20 off your purchase. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon.